Order all your half-shell favorites for takeout or delivery. Visit www.halfshelloysterhouse.com to browse the familiar menu and place your delivery or takeout order in minutes. Same menu prices, just a $5 flat delivery fee every time at Half Shell Oyster House, located at 115 Laurel Park Cove, Suite 105, Flowood, Mississippi, 39232, or you can give us a call at 769-257-7586. And oh yeah, tell them Sonya sent you.
She say sports. She say sports. She say sports. She say sports.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonya, and welcome back to She Say Sports. Well, today was supposed to be our NFL Week 5 recap, but we have cut up so much before the show started. We're gonna X that. We're just gonna do something different today. So of course I have my usual suspects, former NFL players Cedric Donaldson and Jamieon Spencer, and we have a guest with us today, former NFL player and former Provine High School Ram, and that's gonna come in handy later.
Hey, you forgot about Hines Community College. You forgot about Mississippi State Boys. You forgot half of my resume.
Okay.
All right.
And guys, please welcome for our guest tonight. Former Provine Ram, former Hines Eagle, former Mississippi State Bulldog, and former NFL player. Please welcome, give it up for Mr. Fred Smoot.
Azadabi.
Thank y'all for having me. You know what? I feel good, especially a panel of these dudes right here. Thank y'all for having me with a panel of jerks, because I'm a jerk and everything I work out. Let's have some fun.
You fit right in. So
yeah, let's have some fun.
We're not gonna do the NFL recap because we playing too much. So as you can see, we have, well, I didn't play ball, but I am a Provine Ram, born and raised Jackson, Mississippi. So I'm a Ram, Ced is a Ram, Fred is a Ram. One of these kids are doing their own thing. And
I mean,
his name is James.
Hey, I was a Robinson Ram, elementary school. I was Robinson Ram. Can I get credit for that?
Hey, I get Jamie in this. Like the story that we have from high school, I never forget. It was Buki. That's what we call Cedric Buki. Yeah. It was Buki's senior year. It was my 9th grade year, and we drove all the way down to Louisiana. And we pulled up to this school. I thought we were going to the mall on a field trip, right? The school was so big. So then when we pull in around the back, they got a whole nother weight room and locker room that's disattached from the school. They out there lifting weights before the game. It's like 90 of them. It's like, we like the 300. It ain't but 6 of us. Like, so we literally, I never forget it. It's like 3rd quarter and they are teaching us a lesson. It's about 45-0. They done pounded Buki. They done pounded everybody on our team. And I never forget, my coach Rod came over there, asked me and Cedric brother, younger brother Roderick, do we want to get in the game? And I was like, hell no. Hey, listen to me. Ain't no use for all us getting tossed up in this mother. Like, listen to me. Listen, they laid the pain on it. I had never seen a high school team. And then you gotta realize Big Spencer, he the biggest damn dude out there. He running the ball.
The ball.
Yeah, I thought that was cheating. You know how you play on Madden and you make the biggest, strongest, fat dude. They just giving it to this dude. I like, man, this is a damn shame. We better get out of here before a football game starts.
So you thought
Fred, and then
was not in high school?
I thought he was illegal. I thought he was like 26 years old already. He was in high school.
Hold on. So, but Fred, you got to back up though. So, see, it was the fuel that they threw on the fire before the game. You know, it was the dance at the 50-yard line before the game. You know, we had to talk it up. They had to go ahead and, you know, take for whatever reason, Chris Staten little brother and shove him down and get him fired up. Look, So, I mean, we had to lock y'all in the jungle. I mean, look, we heard y'all were Rams. We want to see what y'all were about.
Oh no, listen, y'all beat us like Jon Snow. Y'all whooped us pretty bad. Like I can't lie. It was bad. But I can say this. After they left, y'all came to us the next year. We was a year old, and we taught y'all a lesson.
Oh, y'all was ready.
Yeah,
Fred, and I was missing you too. I was out there just like, oh, boy, sitting over there just salivating, looking like I just have to watch everybody eat at this point. I was like, they were having so much fun. They were having so much fun. Yeah. I sat out that one.
Hey, but this is what they don't tell you though. Like they could cut in Louisiana, and so that was our first game in Louisiana. We had no idea that they could cut you. And so they was flipping us like. I mean, like,
they cut me, and I wasn't even in the game. They cut the bus driver. He was laying on the ground when we left him. It was hard for all.
We got destroyed. Hey, you remember Derek Knight? Derek Knight said he hurt, and so coach was over there like, Derek, get in the game. Derek over there acting like, who Lil Davis is he?
No, he had the Jamieon Spencer flu. That's what he had. He had the Spencer flu, man. Listen. That when I was like, you know what? I got to get my weight up. That's when I knew then. I like, you know what? I don't like to lift weights, but right now I'm finna have to work out with Russell Simmons or somebody. I'm gonna have to get this thing together.
So you're saying because you saw what happened that year,
yeah,
you was kind of like Michael Jordan with the Detroit Pistons. You was like, I gotta get my weight up.
Well, you know what? You gotta realize the older guys on our team is who the younger guys look up to. You see Johnny Ware just bending, they're just bending him to his will. We got Daryl Owens on the team, one of the best middle linebackers. They kicking him to the cooler. So when you seeing all these Emil Johnson, when you seeing all these dudes getting dead bad, you know what? A part of me was like, they deserve it because they talk all this shit to us. They talk all this shit to us at practice. You know what I'm saying?
He said we looked up to them.
Yeah, I did after that game. You know how you go see your daddy come take up for you and he get beat up too? I lost all respect for them guys. I had no more respect for them.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, look here. You remember at halftime? So like this was my senior year. So I was complaining about not getting, letters and stuff from bigger schools. And at halftime, coach said, Cedric Donaldson, you say you want to take the big boys, huh? And the big boys are done.
Yes, you asked for this. He done got everybody whooped. Hey, listen, it was bad. It was bad on us. Like that was for real though. It was a very eye-opening. Football is bigger than you. That's when you know, and then you gotta realize we had to ride the cheese all the way back to Jackson, Mississippi. It was not good for us.
So, do you think because Jamieon did not play that y'all had an opportunity to win, or the team?
We wanted him. You know what? When the bully come beat you up,
they were chanting. They were chanting it.
Oh, they were chanting for you, Jamieon?
Oh yeah, they were chanting it. They had the rough.
We wanted him because, like I said, he ran through us like X-Lax. So we said we had marked it. We had marked it on the calendar. We got Jamieon Spencer, third game of the year at Hughes Field. We finna give him a blessing that he ain't never seen. And when he came in there, he was hurt. So then, we like, well, we just got to play who we got to play. And we beat him. We beat them and Wiseman. I think Pat Williams was playing for Wiseman too, Buki's senior year.
Yeah.
This is hilarious. So Jamieon, give me your... in your own eyes, what were you seeing when you played against them at home? Now they gave me their stand. What happened with you?
I'm gonna tell you the truth. So when they got off the bus, they came out and just like we're gonna talk about a little bit later. I saw these cats circling the field. They slapping our cheerleaders. They done ran through our band. Look, they kicking our pregame balls all over the place. So we're like, hold on, wait,
so y'all pissed.
What are these dudes, right? Like,
East Side High, baby.
Who is this, right?
Oh my God.
Look, and all I remember, is, where our locker room was is right next to the weight room. And, and one thing I will tell you, they wasn't lying, because all I know, little Brian Staten came in and he was crying. And his big brother, Chris Staten, who was on that squad.
Banger.
Look, head banger, right? Chris went in there, he didn't even listen to him. He went and got dressed and he started doing curls and push-ups for like an hour and a half before the game. First 5 minutes, the tone was set. So look, I knew at that point, I'm like, look, if something didn't happen, yeah, it was gonna be some trouble on the waters at that point.
But it was disrespectful.
Look. They came in there and it was real.
We was a real ghetto school, inner city school. All black kids, and I remember our principal Joe Clark asking us, did we smoke crack? Don't y'all smoke?
Oh my God. Provine was never, probably when y'all was there.
Come on now, listen. Provine on the ghetto scale is completely Lil Bootsy now. You gotta say that.
Yeah, that's when they slapped that gate around Provine, man. Everything.
Oh yeah, we had a prison gate and everything.
Yeah, we had
a metal detector. Yeah, metal detectors, everything.
Yeah, it was rough.
Oh my God. Yeah, we didn't have to go through that. So I'm about 4 or 5 years older. So yeah, we didn't have to do all of that.
It was still built in the same place when you went
Don't
there,
do
right?
That. Don't do that, Fred. Don't do that. We didn't have metal detectors. We didn't have a gate around. We could go as we pleased.
That's just like now. The kids ain't got payphones. It just was a different time. That's all.
I'm not.
That's all.
Touche. Okay. All right. So let's move on. You and Buki. Well, Buki was already gone.
He was going to LSU. Yeah, he was going to LSU when I made it to Hines. So I picked up where he left. Basically, my whole career was picking up where he left off. Wherever he leave off, here I come to try to either match or beat what he did. That's how they come. Because I used to hate his guts when we were young. Me and his younger brother hated his guts. Here he come again. We used to lead the yard. We had planned to jump on it for like 6 years.
Wait, what happened, Fred? That you didn't come through on it?
Hey man, you gotta realize the older guys in our neighborhood used to give us hell. Like we'll come down the street just chilling, minding our business. They'll be like, yeah, you gotta do the dead cockroach. And I know that sounds exactly like what I'm saying. You got to lay on your back and act like a dead cockroach. You can only see that with human beings in a ghetto neighborhood. So and that was a rite of passage that we could walk through the neighborhood. So I can't even go to the candy lady house without doing the damn cockroach. And then my mama like, why your shirt dirty? I can't tell her I just did it. I'm telling her I slipped and fell. She don't ever think I'm gonna be an athlete. But that was part of growing up in my neighborhood. And you gotta realize it ain't like we walking the block and there's 3 of them. Walking the block and it's like 40 dudes with beer cans in their hand telling us to do the dead cockroach.
Where did you live, Fred?
Oh, I lived in Northwest Hill, cell block 116, 1913.
You know what? Let me stop rocking back and forth because the last time I did that, I fell while we were doing the show, and these two, especially not Buki, I've been knowing him since he was in his mama's stomach.
Yeah.
This brother, he cried laughing at me. Nobody checked to see was I okay.
I looked.
Jamieon looked concerned between his laughs and mocking me.
She went down like the Titanic, man.
Hey,
I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you, Fred.
Hey, listen, you can't do that these days because, like I told somebody, I slipped and fell in the tub 3 weeks ago. I was there for 4 days. Didn't nobody. That's that old people shit. We didn't got to an age now where we just don't bounce back like we do.
Look, and you don't recover at all, do you, Fred?
Hey, listen, I laid in there, called for help. Nobody came.
So you didn't have your phone in the bathroom?
Not in the shower.
You couldn't get to it.
I crawled. I just couldn't get to
Look, Look, and you're at the bottom of that tub, you can't get out. You can't just roll out like you used to.
Oh my God. Y'all are crazy. So you kind of emulated Ced's
career.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then you move on to Mississippi State. So
Yeah. Now I'm against him. Now he's the dark side, and I'm the light side. I'm Luke Skywalker, and he Darth Vader at this time, because I won. I stayed in Mississippi, and I represent Mississippi. I was one of the few guys.
Right.
I started a trend right there.
Yeah.
Then I broke the LSU curse. We hadn't beat LSU for 11 years.
That man was down.
Until I made it there, and we broke the curse. And you know what? This is what I say. When I played at Mississippi State, we was Alabama. Didn't nobody want to play us when I was there. Didn't nobody want to play us.
That man knee was on the ground on the 5-yard line, man.
Hey, listen, my CTE acting up. I don't remember nothing.
You don't recollect that? You don't recollect that at all?
All I remember is partying after beating them Bengals. It was a good time.
Hey, look here. I'm gonna tell you a story most people don't know about Smoot though. And most people ask me this, and I tell them, Smoot was really looking at going to Indiana.
Oh, I was. I was
Randall
gone. Yes,
really?
I was
so
gone.
tell us about that.
I took a trip to Bloomington, Indiana. And Coach Cam Cameron, who ended up being a pro coach after that, offensive coordinator was there. Randall and his twin brothers was there. They had like 5 or 6 good players there, but they was gonna pretty much let me do whatever I want to do. I love to play wide receiver. Most people don't understand. Like, the only reason I can get interception because I can catch. I can really play wide receiver. They was gonna let me do both in the Big Ten. So I was like, well, damn, if I'm fast in the SEC, I'm Speedy Gonzalez in the Big Ten. I need to go to Indiana. And plus, when I went to Indiana on my trip, I got wasted off of old Milwaukee's the best. Listen, I was all around campus. I know I wasn't there for 72 hours, but my God.
Hey, that boy came home, had a great time. That boy said, hey, I don't like Indiana.
He said, I'm gone.
I'm going to Bloomington. Hey, this what it was. Like, I really enjoyed myself. I also enjoyed myself when I went to West Virginia. I took a trip to West Virginia to the Mountaineers. And believe me, in West Virginia, it ain't nothing but West Virginia, the university. But I had great times up there with them kissing cousins. It was a hell of a time. Like, listen, they played the hell out of banjo. It was, I really enjoyed my time in West Virginia.
He said, I had a good time with them kissing cousins.
Oh, yes, sir. Nobody gonna deal with my cousin but me.
Oh my gosh. So how did you end up at Mississippi State? What happened?
Oh, the great Jackie Sherrill. See, this is one thing I do remember too. Like, I always tell people, my neighborhood was a special athletic neighborhood. If you go back and look through the record store with like Lindsey Hunter, pro basketball player, played for 15 years, multiple championships, starting with him. Then after that, we just started coming. And I could just remember in my neighborhood, I used to watch all these coaches, Coach Furry, everybody riding through the neighborhood. I was like, damn, one of these people got to come through here for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was the key. And not only did we have numerous SEC players and pro players, we had Savante Screenfellow, went to the Olympics in the triple jump. We had just said basketball. We had a couple of players went pro out of baseball in high school. So it was just an athletic neighborhood. And Coach Sherrill, I never forget, Coach Sherrill came to my neighborhood, walked in my living room, told my mama to go get him a beer. So he had already won my mama. So as we sat there, we was talking, and he was just serious about it. He was like, hey, we finna take the program to another level. We need you to be the catalyst for that. And how should I say, we're gonna make sure your NIL is good. And I'm like, you know what, we good.
Whoa. Okay.
No, that stands for National Teachers Alumni Day. They don't stand for
Yeah.
And boy, like I said, and then I was very intrigued with Joe Lee Dunn too, because I had just left Hines, who we blitzed a lot, and Joe Lee blitzed every play. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go with him. I'm gonna play man to man. I'm gonna see, can they get me to the league? And everything worked out. And I enjoyed Stark Vegas. I turned it into another school.
Wow. So you got to play also with your former Provine teammate,
Jamal Dinkins and Eugene Clinton. All three of us was on that Mississippi State team.
Wow, Jamal was on the show last week. It was the Provine 100, and you were a part of that, as well as Mookie.
Yeah.
They were honoring.
Hold on. Where did they have us ranked? Where am I ranked and where's Buki ranked? I have to be ranked high here. Do you know where I'm ranked at? Please tell me.
Let me
I have
see.
no idea.
So,
Hey, but look,
while I'm looking for it, as you know, they were honoring Coach Blackman and Coach Collins.
Collins, yeah.
And Coach Collins, he has been inducted into the Coaches Association.
I seen that.
Yeah, this year. So both of them in there now. Hold on, let me see.
Cause you know what, they like to judge stuff wrong. They like to judge stuff. Hey,
Wait a minute.
So Fred, so let me put what's the prediction though, Fred? So where you at the boot?
I think because I had more offensive stats than
Yeah,
that's where I had him at, and I played special teams. See, people don't understand. I blocked like 5 punts and like 3 field goals and ran them back my senior year. Like, so I was very active all 3 sides of the ball. I shouldn't be no lower than in a half. If you want to know,
so they're not ranked.
5.
They're not ranked by number, but they have like first team defense, stuff like that. So,
Hey, look here, I bowed out of it because I played behind this cat named Raimondo, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Raimondo was super cold. I mean, like the coldest ever. And so I'm like, ain't no way in the world. And he went to the Mississippi Alabama game and everything. I didn't go to none of that.
Yeah.
So I told him, ain't no way in the world I'm supposed to be, ranked ahead of Raimondo. You know what I mean? Because that's who I,
right.
Raimondo Terrenio, that's who I stole from.
Yeah. Well, both you and Fred are first team defense.
Yeah, I told him.
Okay.
I'll send you the list, Fred.
All right. As long as it ain't biased, I'm good. Cause you know what? They races against players.
But Fred, they left you off the offensive side though. What's up with that, man?
Well, I heard you couldn't play but one side. I heard you. They couldn't pick you but for one side. But listen, when it comes to receiver, a Rico Hopper should be the only one that probably had more stats than me, but I had way more touchdowns than him. All right. So at the end of the day, Coach Young started throwing the ball because of my class with Fred Ishman. We literally threw the ball all over the yard.
Yeah. I don't even know if Fred Ishman made it, man.
And that'll be a shame if he didn't. It shouldn't be number 1 quarterback in front of him. That's Jamieon. That's it.
What's his name again, y'all? Fred who?
Fred Ishman, quarterback.
Oh, he's on here.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he should be.
Fred Daniel Willis.
Yeah, he was the second team offense.
All right. Yeah, that sounds about right.
See, hey man, it's so crazy with our neighborhood. One day I was sitting in the locker room, and they asked me like, what was my motivation? The cameras, the news people, like, what's your motivation? And I'm sitting around thinking, I'm like, man, really? I just don't want to mess up, so I go back home and he like he say we ragged him. It's cats older than me that ragged me. You know what I mean? Ragged up.
Yeah.
So that was the goal, not to go back home. Can you imagine getting beat and come home and let Ray Lee Floyd and oh my God.
We had professional hagglers and people always ask me, why
y'all
you
are
talk
professional hecklers.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, why you talk so damn much? I'm like, first of all, verbally, it ain't nothing you can do to me. One day, and see, the only person under the hood, like I was very dominant in my trash talking. I was a young Richard Pryor in my day, but it was everybody got their kryptonite, and mine was Buki. So anytime I'm on the road, they gonna go get Buki for me. Cause I remember one day we weighed out in North Jackson. Man, he get to talking shit to me. I'm in the back of his car. I told him stop this car right, goddamn. He let me out at a light. I walked by 8 miles back to the house. I refused to ride with that dude. Like,
so wait, so they were trying to get you back in the car and you wouldn't get in?
I would not get in. Like, I was like, I would rather walk through the desert than ride in the car with this dude, man. I just could not do it.
Oh my God. See, and you know what? That's okay. So let me tell you, y'all are crazy. So that's what I love with these two, because Jamieon he's just sweet and kind. You know.
Hey, don't let him pull that
little that
big teddy bear shit.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Fred, I've been knowing Jay for 8 years. When I say the same person, now he cuts up, but he just kind. But this one over here, I'm pointing at you. I want to look at my hands. This one right here. He is. Y'all are like the same person.
oh no. Listen. This is what I realized. Like, yeah, I told you, me and his younger brother are like besties. All right. And I remember sitting on the sewer one day and I was like, I can't keep letting this shit happen. He was like, what's wrong? He like, what you talking about? I was like, first of all, I don't get it. Do nobody see what I see? That Buki is a bastard. They were like, what you mean? I like, first of all, he started fights every club we go to. We got to fight somebody because he dealing with somebody that he's supposed to be dealing with. Then we go to school and the bastard, he a gangster away from school, but when we get to school, he the valedictorian, the captain of the football team.
Look, he got that pristine look. He Kaiser Sose, man.
And I used to hate it. I was like, they can't be going for this. Like, this dude is Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, they cannot.
Okay. You know what? And you gotta, when I say we grew up at Church of God in Christ. So you were a gangster?
Gangster.
Oh,
gangster, Mr. Dahmer.
I mean, outside, you know. I mean, it was,
Kaiser Sose.
so you remember where the church used to be, right? On Robinson Road.
Yeah.
So we'll come to church, they'll drop us off. I go sit in the back. As soon as everybody turn their head, I sneak outside. I'm in the neighborhood playing football with kids.
Yeah.
You know what? He can get away with it because it was so many of them.
Yeah, so many of them.
And they couldn't. They just thought maybe he went to use the bathroom or something.
Hey, I call him Martin Luther Ratchet all the time.
I'm in total shock. So, okay, so we know Cedric and Jay, they played against each other in college also. Notre Dame, LSU.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell us about that bout, Jamie, and tell us about that.
Look here, I'm gonna tell you that was my college highlight because I'm gonna tell you this much. Going down to Death Valley, I tried to warn everyone in that locker room, look, you finna go and see and hear some things you ain't never heard before, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You're gonna see some people that you thought you knew growing up, and all of a sudden they gonna act like you have cursed their mama, okay?
Yeah.
So I was like, don't take it personal. Just keep your eyes straight. Don't make eye contact,
Right.
you know, because you do is gonna get emotional, right? We gotta go in there, we gotta handle business, right? They had a squad. Look, K Fogg, Mag, C Donaldson. I mean, they had a squad. Look, Joe Wesley's sister went to school with us.
Yep, Joe Wesley.
Look,
which was my roommate.
Yeah. So
West.
the whole week he's sending messages up through South Bend through her, talking smack. I was like, oh, I can't wait to get down here, right? So we get down there. Of course, it happens. We on the buses. They come rolling through. They start yelling, "Tiger bait, tiger bait." They get to shaking the buses. Oh Lord, everybody thought we finna die on the bus. So we like, just calm down. We're gonna get out of here good. We get on the field. I see Boog, McFarland sitting across there. You know, that's family. I see Rodney Hudson, Lee Stromberg, all these cats. I'm like, oh, I go to the 50-yard line just to turn around and say hello. Nobody acknowledges me.
Oh,
Nobody.
Oh, so they did you kind of like.
Oh, they did me dirty. So I was like, oh. What made it worse? T, my love of my life was sitting here at the pregame, and she didn't think I saw her, but all of a sudden we came running out and I saw her booing and throwing plastic bottles. I said, oh no.
What?
It's on. It is on.
Your woman booing.
Yes.
Woman booing them, man.
Boy, booing me.
Hey, she wasn't hearing that stuff on the way to the game though, like up to the game, because we all saying like, "Hey man, you make sure." I said, "Tell Jamie, I was a little back then. I'm gonna get him now." I ain't want no parts even then. I was just talking, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't gonna do nothing.
Oh yeah, telling a lie. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Grown man life.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's his name. Hey, listen, I am so happy to see LSU in shambles, Notre Dame in shambles. makes me feel good that the only 5-1 team here is the Mississippi State Bulldogs behind the Pirates. They getting everything they deserve because LSU been dominant for too many years.
But look at here, Smoot. You know, you still who you got at the head now. So don't we'll drop 5 straight in a heartbeat now.
Yeah, hey, listen to the guys that don't have a conference. Like it's just y'all just in the abyss, just a free agent, just a prostitute.
We set our own standard. We set our own standard. We like the ultimate contract player. Look.
Yeah, football purgatory.
One
they just
year. We just set that price. Look,
they just float around. They want somebody to catch them. They don't know what to. They don't know if they part of the ACC, the Big Ten.
We trying to show y'all how to do it. Look, we're the pace setters, man. Look,
hey, wait,
if y'all can break away and secure this type of bag every week, you be doing the same thing.
I think you played with my homeboy Jamieon. That played for the
Jamieon Hunter, yeah.
Oh, Jamieon Hunter, his son is down here. Him and my son, best friends. His son is actually the number 2 point guard in the state of Virginia right now, 10th grade, 9th grade, and his other son just went top 5 in the draft.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, but see, I never knew how y'all did it because I remember talking to the people at Notre Dame because I had the grades, and I was like, and they told me the rules. You know, like y'all couldn't get down on campus. Y'all can't do nothing. Then when I was like, you know what? I can't go there. You know what?
Hey, some schools ain't for you.
Yeah, y'all values are too high. I wanted to go to a school that kind of more affected me. I wanted more of the devil. Like you got to ask yourself, who do you want to go to Vegas with? Do you want to go to Vegas with God, or do you want to go with the devil? I'm gonna go with the devil.
Fred, you didn't want to come at least see what it was about, Fred.
No. When they told me you got a chance to come visit the Deacon School of Football Players, ain't no way I'm gonna make it there. I'll be kicked off campus in no time.
Hey, but see, that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons I went to LSU, man. Because I visited. Where did I go? South Carolina. I was supposed to go to Michigan State, but it rained. Then Syracuse, it was snowing. So I went to South Carolina. Then I went to Ole Miss, Mississippi State. And back then, man, like Ole Miss and Mississippi State, man, them boys nice. Like, you know what I mean? They were. And I went to the LSU game, man. Them boys like out there talking trash. It was almost like there was the U. You know what I mean? It was just like, wow. I was like, man, this is where I belong. This is where I fit in. Trash
with the thugs. You got to know where your pedigree is. I can't be over there with Jamie and them praying, doing the halftime. I can't be doing over there. They praying to the Mother Teresa. I don't know what to do.
Fred. Look, we asking for forgiveness because we know what we about to unleash. That's all it does.
Hey, like I told them,
I love it.
I told them I'm a Southern Baptist. I'm not even Catholic. I can't come there.
Wait a minute. So let me go back real quick before I forget Cedric. Cedric, what's the question you had me to ask the guys last week? I want to ask Fred. When you went to Hines and when you went to Mississippi State, what was the
did you have any problem adapting to like the difficulties, or so you might call it, a practice or anything?
Oh no! If you go to Hines, you're pretty much ready for any damn thing. Like, listen. We won like a 3-peat, almost a 4-peat, and you could pick either one of those 4 teams, and we could have beat a lot of Division I teams. Like, you got to realize our teams had tons of pro players on them. We was always good in the trenches. We had a head coach. He was before his time with a female coach on the coaching staff, Miss Dot Murphy. So at the end of the day, we was pretty much ready. Like, we could really get out there and give them. So by the time I got to Mississippi State, the SEC was easy to me. I just got through playing against prisoners, baby.
And Provine was worse than Hines.
Yeah,
Fred, he was saying when you came from Provine, your training from Provine.
Listen, Jamal Dinkins ran over me and changed my life. I never forget. I was sitting there with Coach Rod. Coach Rod talking me up. I don't know why we even got into it that day, but me and Jamal had got into it. And you gotta realize Jamal was an ogre. He came into 9th grade. He came in the ninth grade. He was like 6'3", like 240 pounds, nothing but a man.
Rock
I
up.
was like, this dude got to have Alzheimer's disease or something. This is a
that
grown
first
man.
degree Benjamin Button. That first degree Benjamin Button.
Yeah, he got Morgan Freeman's disease. I didn't know what it was. But listen, it was like my 10th grade year, and they were like, guess what? He put his pants on just like you. So I had a Rocky moment right there. I could hear the music and everything. And they came out and threw a fullback to the flats. The wide receiver ran me down the field. So when I turned around, he like 20 yards from me. That's when the music started getting slow. Now I got to make decisions. So I'm running back towards him, and I never forget the collision. It was so loud in my head, my head just rung for like 3 minutes. And when I got up, all I heard was ooh, like I knew I had got mowed over. I really wanted to run to the locker room and cry, but no.
But you couldn't.
I couldn't. So I kept them tears inside, and I drunk them and I spit them out. Like I could not. Hey, and I was like, man, I got to get this man back. All right, listen. I went 3 years trying to get Jamal Deakins back for that, man. He really, like after that, that's when the weightlifting really took its toll on me.
Okay, you know what? Let's move on.
Real life.
Fred, you should have been a comedian. You and Bookie. That's what y'all should have been, comedian.
No, like I told you, if y'all could have seen the club under the light when we drunk in front of Bookie and them house, they was like the Huxtable family. So we used to meet.
I know.
We used to meet. So we used to meet over there. Let's say getting off time, 5:30, 6 o'clock. Everybody get out. Everybody got to bring like a 6-pack anyway. I ain't but in 9th grade. How the hell am I bringing a 6-pack?
He bringing a 6-pack too.
Yeah, but you won't bring a 6-pack, they gonna jump on you or something. This is very violent guys. These are not the guys.
You gotta bring your peace offering. You gotta bring that peace offering.
yeah. That's when your daddy tell you, you know, I used to run these streets, boy. That what Bookie is. He's an epitome of that. Like his girl's gonna be like, yeah, daddy soft as hell. No, your daddy used to be a gangster. He used to sell dime bags.
Look
They were very violent.
I love when people say like, hey man, so you was different. I was like, huh?
No, ain't nothing different about it. He just knew how to hide it. He knew how to hide it. Like he never got caught. Like that's one thing about it. Me, I constantly went to jail. I just wasn't good at getting away with stuff. But Bookie, I always got away with it. I remember being in jail when I was young. I was like, well, Bookie ain't here. How the hell does this keep happening?
How did you get away with that, sir? Look how you laughing.
He was a double agent. He's a spy.
Hey, look at it.
You know why? Because we had practiced so long as children growing up, the church we went to. So you had to learn how to be a double agent. Yeah. Sorry, Lord. But I mean, well, he already knows. So
yeah. Hey, look, and then I used to hit first. Like everybody we hung around with, like Miss Smoot was probably the smallest of his group coming up. And I was the smallest of my group. And so if we ever got in a fight and I'm sitting there, everybody that we fighting gonna want to whoop me because I'm the smallest.
Yeah, I always.
So I just had to go and get in there first, just start it off and then ease on back in the back,
You saw. So let's move on. Let's move to today. As you know, on Saturday, my school, my alma mater, the Jackson State University, we went to Montgomery and we played against Alabama State University. The Hornets, it was their homecoming and they lost. We beat them 26-12. It was a struggle. It wasn't an easy game. It was not an easy game. It was a lot of factors going on. They stayed in Jackson State stayed in Birmingham, so they were in traffic. They got there late. So y'all know all the stuff that happened. So what are your thoughts on Coach Robinson's reaction to Coach, as well as Coach Prime's to Robinson? Coach
Robinson is a second-generation hater. He want to talk about prime time not being SWAC when Dion did more for the SWAC than any of these coaches in the last 20 years. Now he just set up there, Eddie Robinson Jr. I'm sure he good to put that in front of everything because of what his daddy did. But at the end of the day, don't be hating Dion for what he's doing. That man is changing the landscape in the SWAC. All right. And a lot of coaches don't like it. I was just talking to Doug Williams last night at dinner about it. I was like, why them coaches feel like that, Doug? He was like, they're because until Dion stay in the SWAC for like 10 years, they ain't gonna say that he truly SWAC. I was like, well, if he getting schools millions of dollars, he SWAC to me.
You SWAC all day. You can be whatever SWAC you want.
I thought SWAC and black was the same thing. I don't know. Is it just me?
I mean, the man, he got 3 kids at the school. You got a championship your first year as coach. Like you said, he bringing millions of dollars. He's bringing exposure. That the SWAC has always been good, but we have never had exposure like this before.
Hey, they've been on ESPN since the man got there.
Yeah.
But before then, y'all was playing on BET. All right, y'all used to come on. Y'all used to come
replay on BET. No, it wasn't even live. It was replay.
Right, you're right.
Y'all used to come on right after the baby boy for the 5th time that day. That's what it was. So I just don't understand all the hate that Dion gets. And I guess they're just a microcosm of how we are in Black society. We love for somebody to help us out, but we want them to do it their way. I mean, the way we want them to do it instead of the way that's making it work.
I completely agree in that, again, iron sharpens iron. So, a lot of these guys are going to have to realize, look, you're going to have to take it personal in order to make it mean something for you and your school. I loved it. I love the tension because guess what? That is nothing new than what we've seen at any PWI. Look, if you ever been on the field with some of these coaches and, everybody talked about the little confrontation they had, the handshake. I've been on the field sometime when I watched, Lou go toe-to-toe with somebody because they don't get the exposure that a lot of schools do, but at least it means something. And I think, what we got to do is get outside of the idea of always doing things the way that we've always done them, right? You got to jump outside your comfort zone. And if you want to start getting some of that exposure and start bringing in, the big revenues and things that you got to be willing to step outside. And, I'm like, Fred, look, if he ain't SWAC, I don't know who is. Show me who is,
show me who he is.
That to me was it was a stigma of where we have been and where we don't need to continue to be, right?
Hey, go on, say it. Stop being politically correct. Go on, say crabs in the bucket. Crabs in the bucket. That's what it is.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Hey, but this how I feel. That's the only problem I had with him saying that because the SWAC was slowly dying, man. Once they stop going to the playoffs and all that kind of stuff and just start playing each other, you can't grow if all you did was stay in your little bubble. But as far as a handshake and all, I like that. Like I'm super cool with that. Like I like all that smoke, that confrontation. And look at you see Dion still got it. Dion slapped it, I'm like,
look, he had that swim, didn't look? He had that twirl. I'm with it.
Yeah, I'm with all that, man. Like they needed it. And I think old boy's gonna be all right coach though, because he had them boys ready to play though. They played Jackson State hard.
Oh no, listen, they play with hate in their heart when they play Jackson State.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
All of the SWAC teams play with hate in their heart though.
Because right now Jackson State is the bougie school in Black College. They are the Alabama. They are you guaranteed to play on TV when they come. They might pull out their 5th best uniform on you. Right? They pulling up in a bus that float. They are different than all the rest of the schools, and everybody hates it. They got a coach that making more NIL than the whole SWAC itself. I'm sorry. What can they do? He's a brand. He's a walking brand.
But that's what it's gonna take. I mean, look, if you want to attract kids to your program, you do this stuff. You get into that level of exposure and understand that, look, you can come here, you can live this life, and you can get you to where you want to be, or you can go somewhere else and be second rate. Look, Steve Spurrier hung up the phone in my face and told me, look, if you ain't going to be, you're going to be Gator bait or you can be a Gator. Either way. And look,
either way.
I mean, but if you don't understand that and get emotionally charged up about that, man, you ain't really ready to do this thing like the way that they need to.
Right. Yeah. So what do you think about? Go ahead, say it.
I've had like academia people in the past say like, HBCUs don't need to be worried about no sports. They need to put money into their program so they can graduate these students in engineering, but they don't understand the way you build a school is through sports.
It's through
That's
sports.
what, it's $1 billion being given out for TV rights. I ain't seen nobody give out $1 billion for a science fair project yet. All right, so at the end of the day, that's what's gonna build your school in sports. And guess what? As Black people, let's not run from the fact genetically we're good at sports. All right, so be it. All right, so let's go and beat everybody in sports.
Yeah, use it.
It's like the Africa and diamonds. You know what I mean? Like Africa got all the diamonds, but all these other places making all the money off of it. And HBCUs, you know, being Black colleges or whatever, everybody making all these money off of these so-called diamonds because we scared to do what we need to do. Put money. If you go into a barbershop, you know, in Jackson and say, hey man, we're trying to raise, you know, $100,000 for the engineering department. Can you give $50? Don't nobody care about the engineering department, but the engineering too.
Yeah, because they ain't building no buildings in the ghetto. But these players, these Black players are gonna come back to these ghettos and they're gonna infuse their pocket change back into the ghetto. That's just what it's gonna happen.
So they'll throw you $50 for the team to, you know, because they, you know, that's what they sitting there and brag and talk trash about the whole game. I mean, the whole Saturday. So I was like, man, you gotta get your marketing right when you're going to talk to these people. Don't nobody want to invest in your biology department.
That's true. So, you know, but I think he was just pissed. Well, so how do y'all feel about when he was walking on their side before the game? And the kid, one problem I do have is Alabama football players were cursing at him, called him a B.
Hey, that's part of sports. That's part of sports.
Did you do that to a coach?
Welcome.
Hey,
yes.
I've been called everything except a child of God. All right, listen to me. Yeah. You'll be shocked about what these fans say. These fans, this mental warfare.
No, it wasn't the fans, it was the football players.
Guess what? We talk trash to each other. Yeah. I'm not finna go out there and say, hey, Sid, I hope you really do good today, man.
No.
You know what?
They did it to Coach Prime when he walked on their side.
He's a target. He's a target. He not only is he a target, I'm known as a trash talker. I have 90-year-old men walk up to me and try to gauge their trash talking physique off of me. Well, Prime gonna get the same thing because people want to measure how good of a trash talker he is with a trash talker.
He's good.
Trying to see if they can get him to come out of his
comfort zone.
That's true.
Yeah, so they don't worry.
It's all a show. It's all a show. So I mean, the thing about it is that, you know, if they're gonna do their thing, you do your thing. As long as it's controlled chaos, man, it becomes part of what people want to see, right? It's the simple part of it. They're going to pay to either watch you win or watch you get beat, one of the two. And the more they hate you, the more they're going to willing to pay for you too. So
you're right. That's true.
And I will say this: a couple of years ago, Alabama State had a number 20 running back. That was Deion's first year, that spring year. And before the game, he called Deion and was like, you know, he ain't talking no trash. He was like, hey, check me out. You know what I mean? And he went out there and ran all over Jackson State. And Deion had to say at the end of the game, like, hey, man, NFL scouts, what are y'all doing? So, I mean, it could go both ways. That kid right there was thinking,
I'm going to use him for a platform.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know what? But then Coach really was not talking trash to them. All he said was, and I'm in the SWAC Media Day press conference every Monday. And one of the reporters asked, he said, are you offended that Alabama chose you for their homecoming? He was like, absolutely not. He said, whoever did this is brilliant. He said, they're brilliant. He said, because guess what? Jackson State fans, we travel.
Yeah, they travel.
We sold out outside 2 weeks ago before the game. He was like, so we're going to bring money to your city.
And what they don't know is, here go the business deal in there. After the stadium meets its quota, I hate to say this, but I think Deion gets a percentage of the ticket sales. He does. He does. So you know what?
For his pay,
So at the end of the day, they're gonna stuff you have to do to sometimes get springboard. Like Eddie George being in Tennessee, that works. Like the more and more you get ex-players, the more and more it validates to the new players that I'm finna either have a springboard, or I'm finna have somebody that can really teach me my position, and I'm gonna get to the league anyway it go.
Yeah. So Fred, now I was gonna say.
Go ahead, Jay.
That's probably the one thing I would disagree with him with, right? because anybody who's ever played knows, don't schedule me for your homecoming, right? Don't schedule me for your doormat, because I'm telling you, I'm gonna be that rowdy cousin that you don't want to invite to the barbecue, and I am gonna break it up. It ain't gonna be a homecoming with me.
You gotta be somebody home. You gotta be somebody homecoming. Like at one point, you gotta be somebody homecoming.
You better dance around me. Look, because if you're gonna come see me, you're gonna come see me, right?
I ain't gonna lie. We really want Notre Dame this year for our
No,
homecoming.
you don't want me, because I'm LSU thought they wanted me, you know.
So Fred, you said you talked to Doug, and Doug was one of the first NFL football players to become a coach at a school, at a SWAC school.
Yeah.
How's he feeling? What is his thoughts about Eddie George?
He loves it. He loves it. Like he say, the shine is everything. But he say, just like you can't be the king of the SEC until you done took over the SEC and did it for a longer period of time. So I understand what he's saying. He was like, he's great for the sport, but he still got to do his due diligence to get that respect from the coaches. Now, like, yeah, I understand that. But Doug, he loves it. And plus, he understands, like, it's long overdue. When I was in high school, I remember Rashad Anderson and Sylvester Morris was 2 first rounders from Jackson State, and that wasn't abnormal. That wasn't like, that was, it wasn't nothing to see guys from the SWAC go. Steve McNair, I was there doing that whole fiasco. And then I realized, talking to Doug, that they, like, SWAC players are not even eligible for the Heisman anymore. All right. They give him the Walter Payton Award. Yep. So they created an award for the best SWAC player. And I think it had a lot to do with how far and how close Steve McNair got to winning it, a national award.
Yeah. It's it's amazing that even with Coach Saban, doing what he did regarding Coach Prime a few months ago, with the saying he was taking money and everything. They get afraid and they start making these other rules and regulations to keep separating us. They want our players, they want the Black players, but when we start winning at our schools, then they start the Walter Payton Award or this, and that shouldn't be, because Shedeur should be able to become a Heisman Trophy candidate, because he's amazing. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, this dude, I know y'all done seen him.
I've seen him, but growing up in Mississippi, I always took the word should out of my vocabulary.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff should be different, but like they should have clean water when they turn the sink on.
Okay.
But it shouldn't look the way it do when I go back.
I love it.
It shouldn't be a liquor store every 3 steps instead of school. But we can go shoulds all day long, but I've been took that out of my vocabulary. I took the word fair. Life ain't fair. At the end of the day, that's why I love sports. Bookie will tell you, we wasn't super highly recruited, but all the guys that were super high recruited before us, we made it way farther than them. And that's the maturation of sports. I don't know if I'm that good if I go to Ole Miss and sit on the bench for 2 years. I don't know if I'm the same Fred Smoot. I had a maturation where I got to play as a freshman, sophomore. So by the time I'm a junior, I'm ready to go with the big boys. So I just think that's what you get with football. Ain't no guarantee. Just because somebody good in high school don't make them good in college. Just because they good in college don't make them a good pro. And it don't matter what school you go to, because once you're in the game, you're in the game.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's true. That's a good.
And I want to ask Smoot this, man. Like, and I tell people this: when was the first time that a Mississippi State or Ole Miss got on your, like, growing up? I didn't know nothing about no Ole Miss and Mississippi State.
Yeah,
I wasn't paying no attention to none of our like in-state
teams. Yeah,
I was a Florida State fan and a Jackson State fan.
Yeah. I was a Florida State guy too. I used to call it Fred Smoot University. Dion, and because Dion went there, I really want to go.
Yeah.
But I think where we got caught up in my year, class of '97, we went to the All-Star game. That's me, Deuce McAllister, Ken Lucas, Terrence Metcalf, and we had 12 guys go in the top 2 rounds of the draft. Then we had 4 more guys get drafted in the rest of the draft. So that's like 14 of us. that got drafted in the draft, and all of us chose then to either choose Ole Miss, Mississippi State, or USM. Leo Barnes and Darius all the rest of them dudes went to a USM. Deuce McAllister, Romero Miller, all those guys went to Ole Miss, and me, Ellis Williams, and Dorsett Davis, and the rest of us went to Mississippi State. So we actually kept like 3/4 of our all-star team in state. And I think that's when it changed right then. So when I took my trips, coming out of junior college, I had already played with these dudes. So it was like, come on, let's finish what we started and let's get moving. So it was kind of easy for me to say, yes, I want to beat LSU, and I wish I could have played them gold hats.
You wasn't ready for them. You wasn't ready for that gold, baby. You wasn't ready for that gold, Smoot.
Listen,
Smoot, I would have had a gold bulldog on me, baby. I would have walked that dog all the way back. Start Vegas.
I know that Fugazi gold when I see it.
Hey, I can't tell you this, man. The first time we played them fools, man, I had never seen an offensive line that big before in my life.
Oh, they're gonna have that. They're gonna have offensive linemen, and they're gonna have a good college quarterback. They won't be all great pros, but they're gonna have an offensive line, and they kept running backs at that time. But I'm not gonna lie, Nebraska, Notre Dame, and Colorado football would never be where it used to be again. It's over with, Jamie. It's over with.
Look, wait, hold on. You know what?
It's over with.
Look, I'm gonna put it to you this way. I'm gonna put it to you this way, Fred.
It's over.
You had to change the rules that just taking us out of the game. If you start bringing the rules back, no, I ain't talking about the NIL. If you start bringing some of these rules back, that where you can put you in a box and have that death circle in there, that little mosh pit that's legal. Oh, it'll come back quick. It'll come back quick. Now you can't even push nobody without getting a call. You know, Chris Jones, look, I want to give him Player of the Year, but I can't because he got penalized last week.
I understand what you're saying, but Notre Dame recruits nerds pretty much, very much. Religious nerds. They recruit virgins. They go to each state and pick the top 5 virgins out of the state, and they get them to play football. They don't even want you in to violate your body.
Look at here.
Respect your body.
We select the cream of the crop that's ready to move their manhood to another direction. That's where we are.
The moral
we ain't coming down there playing with them dog collars. No, we ain't playing with them no more.
Hey, and I cannot play with a wide receiver named Pope St. Johnson. I can't. Like, listen, y'all.
You could after he baptized you. Yes, look, y'all drinking water a couple of times. You're gonna be spraying.
Y'all drinking holy water before the game.
And I'm gonna bless you every time I get on the field. Look.
Hey, look here. I think that's one of the problems that Brian Kelly is having at LSU right now, man. Because you got these kids, man, that grew up. You know, Louisiana different, man. These kids drinking early.
Ratchet.
Yeah, they like 18 years
old, like 13 years old.
They got families, and you know,
families.
For real.
Oh, yeah, multiple kids.
Brian Kelly down here, man, it's so many athletes on it, he don't know what to do with them. Mm-hmm. Like he sat Harold Perkins, which is a 5-star. If he could get drafted this year, he'll get drafted this year.
Yeah.
He played 9 plays in the game, and they asked him why. He said, well, we played a different defense, and they basically schemed that man out off the field.
So this is what I see. This is what I see. I'm gonna be honest with you. Look, I'm not a huge BK fan. Okay, I think right now BK's in a position at LSU. He's got to do a lot of cleanup. Okay, he got to do a lot of cleanup from Ed O, and in the midst of a lot of that cleanup, I think he's trying to control more than he needs to, right?
Yeah.
He's not ready to let the dogs go yet, right? I think he's still trying to figure it out. You know, like you said, it's a little bit different than what he's been used to, especially considering where he's been. Not necessarily, you know, Notre Dame, but you talk about, you know, Cincinnati and some of the other places he's been. It's a different mentality down here, right? And, you know, for him, you give him a year or two, I think he's gonna pay some dividends that you probably gonna get a chance to see, right? Because he got the crop. He got the crop.
A pair of lips will tell a lie. All right, let me tell you something. Brian Kelly ain't gonna win a game at LSU. All right. First of all,
He already beat
come-
Mississippi State. Though.
He
Let's
beat
not talk
State.
about that.
Yeah, he beat State.
And if that's your claim to fame, you know you ain't got long at LSU. All right? Listen to me.
Oh
Now,
my
what
God.
he's not used to is LSU is one of them factors where they turn down 5 stars. All right.
Yeah.
It ain't too many schools that turn down 5 stars and say, you know what? Our roster full. We ain't got time for you. All right. They won't put up with this. And you got to realize, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna really bring the heat for them. Texas and Oklahoma finna come to the West. I think they said they finna try to shuffle Alabama and Auburn out of the West into the East. And I'm sorry, Texas got plenty of money, and that's gonna give them a chance in there. And LSU ain't trying to be a bottom 5 team. That ain't who they are. That ain't what they gonna do. Brian Kelly days a number. He'll be back to offensive coordinator at Notre Dame in no time. All right? Yeah, y'all can go and send for the deacon right now. Send him on back home.
We don't want him. I told Sid he could have him now. At this point, we done with him. We moving.
Hey, listen, when y'all signed Brian Kelly, they sold LSU a used condom. And that's what it is. It is over with. You can't even, who buys a used condom?
Okay, well, thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm talking about pre-used 3 times.
You know what? We got to wrap this up, y'all. Fred, you got to come back. I don't even know. You know what?
Anytime. If we're like this.
No, tell us about your podcast.
All right. The new one I got. I got a new one. Me and Josina Anderson and Morris Chestnut. And listen, we interviewed Big Play Darius Slade this morning. We got a couple more guys. We got another one coming out Thursday. It's fun. It's energetic. Y'all see how I talk trash. Morris is the #1 Philadelphia fans. I call him Chocolate Thunder. He think he's the prettiest motherfucker in the world.
He is. Can I come on your show?
Anytime you want to.
Just be ready. Just be ready.
But it's a fun time. We have a lot of fun. No filter. So you know what? Don't come on there with no feelings, because they will get hurt. All right, that's just the way it was. So
I kind of understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, we talking. We have a lot of fun, man. That's what it's about. Like I said, I was prepared to do this years ago through my neighborhood. I was already turned. I was born to do this, so it's fine with me.
So Fred, how can listeners listen to the show?
Oh, anywhere you can get podcasts, Apple Store, a city, anywhere, YouTube channel.
What's the name of the podcast?
The Crew NYC. The Crew NYC, Josina Anderson, Fred Smoot, Morris Chestnut is all great.
I love
got a lot of stuff coming, a lot of good stuff coming.
That's great.
That's awesome.
I'm just happy I didn't go to Notre Dame, because I think I'd have turned out a different
Come on,
person.
man. Look, Fred, man, you gonna have a talk, man. Look, I'm gonna go and let you in on some secrets, man.
If I'd have went to Notre Dame, I'd probably be a 19-day evangelist right now. I'd probably be knocking on people's door. You know how y'all people used to run when the Jehovah's Witness come? Hey, mama, it's the Jehovah's Witness. I used to run and hide behind, like, listen.
That pussy don't go to a
19-day
Witness.
19 days. Fred, it's okay to love the Lord.
Hey, but you know what, Sandra? You cannot say you ain't ran away from no Jehovah's Witness when they knocked on the door with that little old book in there.
Yes.
My mama sent you to the door.
And then talk to them about shit. They stopped coming to the house. And she ran them off because she know that Bible. So,
we used to run like it was the Bill man. Oh, they trying to change us.
You know what? This is why Percy was like, you got to get Fred on the show. This foolishness right here. Percy, somebody this summer, he was like, did you ever call Fred? I said, no, I want to. And Fred, we're actually, we have a Legends of the Sip show. I'm with two other guys that I do the show with.
Y'all got Ox on there? You can't do a Legend of the Sip and not have Octavian on there. Hey, Ox is a legend. All right, listen to me. Hey, if you think about it, all right, Ox is basically our version of Turbo off of break. Right? He's a legend. All right? He's a legend.
I cannot with you. I was trying to tell you that we wanted you to come on the show.
I ain't coming unless Ox on there, man.
No, each legend is by themselves.
I got to be on there with Octavian Harris. You understand me?
No, listen. So look, y'all. So guys, first of all, this was great. I love this. Thanks for coming on the show. But we gotta go and do. I have a game that we play called "You Can Get With This" or "You Can Get With That."
All right.
What that is, it's a way for the listeners and myself and the guys to get to know the guests better. So I have 3 questions, and you choose the one that best fits you. Jamie and y'all, y'all can get in on this.
All right, I'm with you.
I just want to hear what Fred got to say now.
I know he is hilarious.
I just want to hear that.
You know what? Let's just let him do it.
Y'all need to go and answer these questions because y'all bringing it into my liquor store time right now.
Okay. Come on, so Fred.
I got an appointment at the liquor store. Don't make them wait. I love the way they serve that alcohol.
You don't want to be disrespectful, huh? You don't want to be disrespectful.
You don't want to be disrespectful.
Hey, this is all I know. Jesus turned water to wine. Who am I?
Look, and you would have learned that if you had came ND. I told you that.
And most people don't understand that my dad is a preacher, right? Mm-hmm. My dad is a preacher. I'm a PK. All right. So the thing about it is, if you read the book very closely, you would notice that Jesus was kind of gangster. All right?
He was real gangster.
You know what? Just think about it. Everybody get married. I got married before, and that's why I'm divorced. I got married in the name of Jesus. And Jesus, and Jesus, if you look at it, Jesus never got married. All right. So if I want to be more Jesus-like, I should be single.
No, we're gonna. You know what? We'll talk about that later. So, Fred, would you rather lose sleep or skip a meal?
It depends. If I'm in Vegas, I'd rather skip a meal.
Vegas is your place, I see.
Listen, you can't sleep in Vegas. I told you it's where I'm at. If I'm in Jackson, I would rather skip a meal because I want to get my sleep in Jackson because, after 12, that's when people die down there.
You know what? Pork chops or lamb chops?
Ooh, bougie. I ain't gonna lie.
No, there's some new black people. They eat lamb chops on Monday night.
I love a good lamb chop, but as a black African American, I have to go with the pork chop. Yes, I got to keep that pork on my fork. And you know what? That pork chop tastes better the next day when I turn it into a pork chop sandwich. When it turns into a sandwich, that's when it's all good. You gotta
have your pork chop on the fork. Okay.
Sandwich.
Halloween is coming up. Candy corn or Kit Kat?
First of all, candy corn is the worst candy of all time. Candy corn.
I love candy corn.
Candy corn go with Almond Joy. Like nobody I ain't never heard nobody pull up to a gas station and ask for an Almond Joy. All right, so it's some candies that just totally nasty. Peanut brittle. Who the hell eat peanut brittle? Nobody likes any of those candies. No, give me gummy bears. Sour Kit Patch Kids.
My grandmama used to love Almond Joy.
And I bet she had a fruitcake in her living room that was there for like 7 years.
She did not.
She had the fruitcake from King Tut in her living room.
Ever talk about better than him?
Hey, listen. I used to literally sit on my grandma's couch at 90-degree weather with the plastic on it and eat candy that been out since last Halloween. What the fuck going on?
Okay. So you hate candy corn, so Kit Kat.
I hate candy. Don't nobody like candy corn. Nobody like
I like it.
No, because you were forced to eat it. It was like eat candy corn, eat a sugar sandwich. That was your only sweet option.
Candy corn is the candy that they drug kids with.
Yeah, that's what they put fentanyl in. No, I don't eat no candy.
I bite. You know how it's the different colors? I bite the small, then never mind. Okay, time machine. Done. Time machine or magic wand? Would you prefer a time machine or magic wand?
Ooh, time machine. I go back.
Why would you go back?
I'd probably go back right at about 12th, 11th grade of high school. I sure wouldn't have dated the same girl. Ugh. I would have changed that quick. And I would have tweaked a couple of things. Cause see, in this time machine, I can do a couple of things. One, I can go back and buy a lot of Apple stock. All right, pennies on the dollar. All right.
Okay.
So now I'm not even caring how good I am in the NFL. All right. I own 80% of Apple. Who cares? All right.
Oh my God.
So I'm gonna take that time machine. Do y'all remember that book, Mr. Fig? Hey, like it was two cartoons that I always felt were drug related. Mr. Fig and the Flying Car, because the only way you can fly a car is you smoking weed. All right, and y'all never realized this. Speedy Gonzalez's cousin, Slowpoke Rodriguez, was a pothead.
A pure pothead.
Yeah, he did drugs. Didn't nobody want to say nothing.
Hey, Holmes.
That man did drugs. He did.
So,
And we watched it.
You prefer E40 or Too Short?
Oh, so now it's like, do I prefer somebody that make their own language, or do I prefer somebody that disrespect every woman I know? I'm gonna have to go with Too Short. That's where my moral compass is right there.
In the trunk. Keep it in the trunk.
Hey, because you know what? The only person that can call a woman the B word besides they home girl and get away with it.
It's Too Short.
It's Too Short. Like I done watched Too Short do it on the Grammy Awards. I done watched yeah, that's what I'm saying. Have Christian girls out there saying.
Oh, praise the Lord. Let's see. Sad. Tattoos or piercings?
Well, considering me and Buki the last black males under 50 without tattoos, we did a good job of that. So I do have my ears pierced, but I don't know. I might get old tramp stamp and get my name pierced just for the hell of it. You know, and when you get older, people start doing old men shit. So I might like get old and start getting face tattoos or something.
Do not get any face tattoos, sir. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you. Okay, so after a big game at Provine, which did you prefer? And said you can answer this too. Crystals or KFC?
I prefer what, a KFC?
Crystals or KFC?
Oh, first of all, I really love Crystal. Yeah, I'm gonna say we had a code at the KC across the street.
Yeah.
Like, and the whole staff knew this, no matter what time of the day. And if we pull up and we say, I want 2 biscuits, extra jelly, they're gonna give us like 50 free pieces of chicken. And this is where we messed up at. Yeah, so we messed up by telling everybody in the hood. So now everybody in the hood driving to this KC literally ordering 2 biscuits, extra jelly. They running out of chicken in this motherfucker. Because guess what? When we pull around, we only had to pay for 2 biscuits and extra jelly. And that's only like $1.09. And I'm gonna get 20 pieces of chicken.
Lord have mercy. Y'all the reason why that KFC is out of business now.
Yeah, and then we used to end it with aha, and they knew it was up. Yeah, they did. It was crazy.
So, would you prefer free gas for a year or free food for a year?
Ooh, gas so damn high. I'm about to get a horse. But I gotta go with food right now. Inflation got food. Like you can literally go to the grocery store and spend $300 and leave out of there with some Doritos and some grapes. Like it's, I'm gonna go because I can get an electric car, but I'm always gonna need food. So I'm gonna go with the food. But yeah, give me that free food. I can feed the family, call my cousin them up on Thanksgiving, everything.
That's right. So 2 more. Which actress do you prefer? And this is where I failed last time.
Is this actress?
Nia Long.
Nia Long or Regina King?
Nia.
First of all, I'm so tired of Nia Long playing Nia Long. She ain't paid nobody. Like every movie she play in, she Nia Long. Like, could you tell me one Nia Long character? Like,
Nia Long, Nia.
Long Nia Long. Hey,
she was Ricky's girlfriend on
Nia Long.
Nia Long.
And guess what?
And Best Man.
Hey, she don't ever change her voice. She ain't played no detective. She ain't played no zombie. He ain't
She
even
don't
played
even
no.
get costume, does she,
Yeah,
Fred?
yeah.
No, she don't even get costume.
Yeah,
So-
she ain't even got killed before. She ain't even got killed in a movie before. Like,
So I take it you prefer Regina King then.
oh, I love Regina King.
I
Funny,
love her.
beautiful, and she can get lost in the character. Like I said, Nia
You really
Long,
can.
Nia Long has played Nia Long for 25 years. Like, I don't want to. Like, I'm sorry, I would have cheated on her too. Oh, hey, you can't blame me, though. Like, listen, I remember my daddy. I talked to my daddy when I was going to a divorce, right? And my dad is a preacher. So I tried to use the same thing the preachers use. So I went back to my ex-wife and told her the only reason I cheated was my flesh was right. She didn't go for it, but preachers, they can get away with it all the time. Yeah. I stepped up in front of the congregation. It didn't work for me.
Your flesh was weak.
Yeah, my flesh was weak. They asked me what had happened was I had put myself in a situation that I couldn't get out of.
Oh my God. Oh, baby, this is going to be one of the snippets. So,
All I'm saying, the truth will set you free. Like the truth.
that's right, baby.
And if I watch it set another man free, I might try it. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And that's why I was like, it worked. It worked for all the preachers. They go. They want me to take them back. The first lady take them back all the time. My ex-wife jetted on my ass. And left.
It was like deuces. You know
She
what,
was like, I
baby?
don't care about your flesh, and I don't care about nothing else.
You created a monster. Do you see this? This is why. Last one. If you were still playing in the league, who would you rather be your quarterback? Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady?
Ooh. All right, it's Tom Brady. I'm going with the GOAT. Aaron Rodgers is that pretty dime piece with a dead tooth in her mouth. All right? You don't know. Yeah, you done fell in love with her, but then you kiss her and you like, oh my God. All right? It's gotta be an F. There gotta be an F in her mouth with shit on his foot. Now, me myself, I am going with Tom Brady. One Tom Brady, because he's the GOAT, and I know this. If I play with Tom Brady, I got Sam Marine. All right? If I play with Tom Brady, I could be the GOAT of cornerback. I ain't got to get 2 picks a year. As long as they in the playoffs, I am the baby GOAT right with him. I believe in goat's milk. I love goat milk.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
I'm drinking goat milk now.
First of all, I want to thank y'all for this show today.
Hey, y'all know this show went on for an hour and a half. This
I
ain't
know,
even good
and
for
I-
network TV.
Recap.
Hey, you gotta put this out in 2 pieces.
Yeah, you gotta have part 1 and part 2. Nia
Oh,
Long
y'all
is
got.
Nia
Oh,
Long.
this has to happen again for sure. So, Fred, tell the listeners how they can follow you on social media, and also, well, you already said how they can see your podcast.
Oh yeah, I'm on Twitter at FSmoot21 Sean T. Shout out to my boy Forever Live. And then on Instagram, which I'm not really on that much, but I'm FSmoot27. You can find me on there. I'm not really showing out nothing. I'd rather be on Twitter with the intellectuals and talk. That's why I love it. See, that's why you catch African Americans on Twitter and not niggas. See, I'm what you call. I love to be free of all distractions. So I love African Americans. Love them to death.
So I guess we're in, Cedric. We're on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes, and this episode is brought to you by Old English 8-Ball and Sammy Left.
This has been one of the best shows ever. Best shows ever. Y'all, thank y'all so much.
Y'all got to blame Provine High School for this. I remember walking up them hallways every day knowing we wasn't going to be shit, but we got out of there, people.
Y'all got out of there. We got out of there.
I remember singing Fair East Side High right outside of that thing at graduation. It was a great time in my life. Shout out to Mr. Red, rest in peace. That's with my dude all day. And old boy in the cafeteria, Willie, he's still there.
Willie,
After 35 years, he's still there slinging them pieces, baby.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Hey, what name the only condiment we had at Provine?
ranch. We put that shit on everything. Hey, listen to me. Oh, I love them octagon pizzas with ranch. Taco salad with ranch. I remember one day I just said, give me some milk and some ranch. I ain't give a damn. It was off the chain. Ranch. That's all we had. I remember I got hurt, twist my ankle, ranch. They put ranch on my ankle.
You know what? Hey y'all, thanks again for watching, and until next time, this is Sonya with She Say Sports.